to a theater near you, part 2, in theaters now, or just on this latest episode of the Chris Logic Podcast. It's your boy Frost Mitchell, and I got my homeboy with me here.
Yes, sir. Xavier Green. We back at it. Part 2 of the part 3-part chronicle is here. It is here, people.
Indeed it is. We're talking about, of course, the ongoing feud between the Sixth God himself, Drake, and Compton's finest, Sir Kendrick Lamar. And on this particular episode, again, we're talking about arguably our greatest session we had, where, again, it was a very long pod episode that we just simply felt it was best for the people to break it up into a 3-part segment and, just deliver a quality product here instead of having y'all hanging on to the Titanic for 3 hours. That definitely would have made a major disservice to the people. But before we get into the track battles, Zay, man, your thoughts before we let the people hear about our takes on the actual battle itself?
Not too really. They gonna find out where I stand, where you stand at throughout this entire beef. I just hope that they enjoy our perspective and where we come from. And yeah, I just hope that you receive it. If you want to have a conversation, we welcome that. But yeah,
absolutely
enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely do hope y'all enjoy our takes, man, because it's not coming from a sense of bias, man, but just keeping it a bean about the whole thing and, our takes on the tracks. But I definitely hope y'all enjoy part 2 of our coverage here of Champagne versus Avalanche here. So we're going to let y'all get into it on the latest episode of the Chris Logic Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Moving forward to the next piece of it, your thoughts on like that and the shot taken back at the Big Three, or at least Kendrick identifying himself as it's just Big Me.
Yeah, that was a clear, direct shot at it, shot at both of them, and that's the initial reason that even J. Cole responded, which we're not gonna get into today. My disappointment in J. Cole.
Come on, Debo, stall him out, man. Let him
I don't want to stall him out.
I know you don't.
Fuck it. Real quick. Your idol can't be Nas, and you back out of a beef, and I'm gonna leave it at that. And I'm gonna leave it at that. That can't be your man's, and then you back out the way that you did. So for that, you have eliminated yourself from being ever the best. So you can try and get into another rap beef if you want. We go remember that you stepped away from the biggest prize fight that it was, and you also robbed us of it. So for that, in my list, even though I think you're rapper wise, I think you're the best out of all 3. But
we're in agreement.
You disqualified yourself. You are a DQ from being on my all-time list because of that, Cole. I love you. I've been to Fayetteville. I can send you a picture of me at the house, Forest Hills.
Oh wow, wow.
Yeah, I've been there. You know what I'm saying?
You want to grow up, my boy?
I've been there. I got a picture of the house, boy.
Oh shit.
That's what I'm saying. That was a disappointment. And then you came back out of it and apologized, and then circle back and say you still would have killed these niggas. What are you in or are you out?
Are you suggesting that the man was playing hopscotch?
Stop. You in or out? Like my mom used to say, quit letting all the air out. You in or you out? You in or you outside, man?
Hey, what Bernie Mac said at House Party 3? Close that damn door. Air conditioning in the whole neighborhood.
It's just nonsense on Cole. But
shit.
Yeah, but that, get back to that clear direct shot at both of them. I didn't feel even with that at that point in time, I didn't feel it was hey, they got 24 hours of response type. We've been hearing this the entire time because, for him to jump on that record, right, and then say, Drake, hey, you go down to Atlanta to get your lingo up. Well, you went to Atlanta to pop your shit. Why couldn't you do that on a mustard beat to start with? Why did you have to go to Atlanta to get your shit off? Why is that? Or is anyone going to address that? Like, you can't claim that you are culture vulturing when you couldn't even get your shit off to ignite the beef on your own West Coast beat, your own song. You needed two other niggas that's also beefing with the nigga to get this shit off. It was like some Wonder Twins Activate type shit. It was weird to me. It was weird. And then it was like the Haters Ball anthem. That's literally what it was. It was the Hater Balls.
Oh, that Haters Ball.
I hate you. I hate your guts. Like, bro, like imagine doing 2 full albums about hating a nigga. Like that's what happened.
Yeah.
Too. But and they invited Dot. Like, hey, come be a part of this, my boy. And yeah, so they did that to get that off, and you know, it was also to help them with their numbers promoting that album that was coming.
For sure.
Yeah, he was the biggest name on the project. So you know, they had to invite Raheem. That said the dumbest line I've ever heard in rap. He should retire.
Who is this?
ASAP. The dumbest line ever. Sir, you can't say I hit your BM first when he was smacking your BM at the time you were smacking his BM, and your BM is Rihanna. Sir,
hey,
that's called check inmate. Shut the fuck up. Like, you're about to marry her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so ask Fringer. Ask Fringer. That's crazy. That's a crazy line.
Man. That is definitely crazy.
The reference to the nickname, the pet name, yeah, that's crazy. Drake crazy for that. But yeah, back to like that. I thought the song was cool. I like Metro as a producer. He's done a lot of songs with Drake. Like I mess with his sound a lot. I didn't understand where like all the hate seemed to come from out of nowhere, and then even now, like he kind of backtracked from it. Him and Future. It's odd, weird. You know, Future even saying like I didn't even know it was a beef was going on.
Which is mind blowing to me, but yeah, you know, hey, to each his own. He might have taken into account that can't jeopardize a working product. I mean, obviously, him and Drake is fire on the track, just like when Rick Ross decided to poke his nose into the battle royale essentially against Drake, and he put his 2 cents in. I knew for a fact when Ross did that I'm like, this is clearly a publicity stunt, man. Like I'm like, bro, y'all have too good a chemistry on tracks for that to stand. Like, period. You are not going to jeopardize a moneymaker, an automatic moneymaker like that. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think. So, but you know, that was a like that record.
Yeah.
You know, he popped his shit on like that. Cause nigga bang. Like, all right, cool. We get it, Dot. Like, it was cool.
I still bump it though. I mean, that was fine.
It was cool. It was a good song. Like, I messed with it. Like I said, I like Kendrick, so it wasn't like I'm like, nah, this song whack. Nah, it wasn't. But you know, it went from that, you know, to what, 3 weeks later, that's when we got push-ups.
When the four was on the record saying in unison, and which I hate when they reference the clowns that reference Drake as Canadian bacon. I hate when they make that reference. That's just so cringe to me. But
I ain't heard that yet.
Right,
personally, I ain't heard that.
Yeah, I've heard it in a few different quarters, but again, cringe worthy. But that obviously goes into the first direct, non-subliminal name drop track with push-ups, essentially. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the charge on this one.
Yeah.
Because now we're talking about the actual like beef in itself, the tracks themselves. After going back and listening multitudes of times, I thought that Push-Ups was a solid effort. If I had to give it a letter grade, I'm gonna give it a solid B-. Because obviously he addressed it. He clearly identified everything that was going on, and it opened things up for it to take its proper course as far as it now being a legit rap beef and a true battle. Like round one's going, we live, we here. You know what I mean? So this was Drake's first attempt to throw a haymaker, which I was proud of him. Because again, going back to some of the battles or non-battles in the past, there were some people he responded to, and others I felt that he had a clear opportunity to address and respond to that he dropped the ball on. But others that, he clearly obliterated. Need I not re-reference the beef between him and Meek Mills, which is what had some people thinking that, that this might potentially be too big of a task for Kendrick to conquer. But with Push-Ups, I think where I hold this against Drake is, I know he was busy. I know he was in the process of like being on tour and having a lot of shit in motion at that point in time. I hate the fact that he tried to like clean everybody up in one track. That's the one thing that I hold against him. And it's because I remember when I very first heard it, I'm like, bro, who's he talking about exactly with this extra stuff? You know what I mean? Like you just couldn't make heads or tails of it until like, again, you started educating yourself more about the subject and learning a little bit more to start connecting the dots and putting the pieces together. So as far as in the immediate aftermath, kudos to him to like not disappointing us and joining the fray essentially, but could have been a little bit better. It definitely reeked of a rushed project. It definitely wasn't a back-to-back or charged up even, in my opinion, but it was a good effort to a good controlled first round response. Just too much shit that he had to address with that.
See, I don't like that narrative either. Like, oh, he addressed too many people. So I'm gonna ask you this direct.
I'm listening.
Frost, you ever been jumped?
Nah, I've never been officially jumped in a fight. Have I had like beef with multiple people that hung in the same circles at once? Yes, that has been a thing in the past. But I've never officially been jumped in a fight. Nah.
Right. So some from somebody that has been jumped before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you don't swing on one of the niggas. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You're swinging at everybody, whoever there. In my situation, it was two, and then I had somebody else. They ran up, and then it was a one-on-one situation. But yeah, you don't just swing back at one. You don't focus on one. It was. We mentioned 4 dudes, but it was like a total of 7 in the first week that did like diss tracks at him. Like, so he addressed them one by one. So in my opinion, he kind of tried to take the Meek Mill route, but twisted it. Like I took Push-Up as charged up. It was just like a warning shot. That was
to the entree.
Yeah, like I knew that wasn't it. Like I'm with you with the grade. It was like a B- C+. Like it wasn't his best, but I looked at it as a charged up because I wasn't too impressed with charged up. I don't think anybody was too impressed with charged up.
But I might be the one person that you might meet that actually like enjoyed that track. I mean,
no, like it was cool. It was cool,
right?
It was an appetizer. That's what I'm saying. It was cool.
Right.
It was an appetizer. Okay. It wasn't bad. It was cool. It was cool. He did that, and then later that evening or early that morning, whatever, he dropped the tailor-made freestyle, which is now taken down because of Tupac's estate. And even that really felt like charged up. And I actually want people to even go back and listen to that. He pretty much said everything that has transpired. Like, he pretty much laid the playbook out and said, this is what's about to happen. bringing up Pac, using the Pac voice, using the Snoop voice. Like, he addressed a lot of things that was going to happen in the route that it was going to go. I thought that was still like a C plus. I could see people giving it a B for the creativeness of using the AI, which is kind of why why I didn't understand even why it was taken down. It's not like they actually used Pac or use any of the words that he said. Like, Drake rapped it and Drake wrote it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They just use like a AI voice changer.
Oh,
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
But that was okay. And then, the whole thing, people were like, oh, Drake got 24 hours to respond. He ain't responding quick enough. But like, that same energy isn't given to Kendrick, because for you to take the first shot with like that, right? And then he responds back, because like you said, he was on tour,
right,
in the middle of a tour. Once the tour ended, I think it was like within 3 days after the tour ended, that's when we got
something like that.
That's when we got push-ups, right? Bro, it took 11 days for us to get Euphoria. Like, if you ready for it and you armed up through the T, why take you 11 days to respond? But you Kenny, you crazy with the pen, right? Like, why take you 10 days to respond? 11 days to respond. Like, and before we jump over to Euphoria, what was your thoughts on the tailor-made freestyle?
I might get nailed to the cross for my take, but you know what? I'm with it. I got a serious love-hate relationship with tailor-made, and here's why. While the concept behind it was very clever, obviously you got Tupac, the breakdown with Tupac and his voice, the breakdown with Snoop, and then him closing it out with his piece of it. The concept was it me, I got a bit of the whole evil, like, I know I jokingly, mess around with you saying you the evil genius and stuff, but I got a bit of that in me too. But then that little bit in me loves that component of it. I just felt it was unnecessary. And here's why. I think that could have been, because I know what Drake's capable of when it comes to battles, as I've heard him do his stuff in the past with other artists. That piece of it could have been left out. Like, I think that was a major shock value swing to try to get a major one up and kind of get that pop factor, like how he did with the whole back to back piece of it going against Meek. And I just, for me, I just hold that a little too strongly against him in that regard. I just felt that the whole including the West Coast aura vibe in piece of it was unnecessary. It just was. As far as the bars were very solid. The song, the beat, very solid as well. Well put together track, but this is where I hold the first strike against him personally, as far as doing too much with the antics. I just think that there could have been a slightly better way to approach that, but still delivering that effective of a product. Too much juice, too much theatrics to try to create the shock factor. That's the only thing I hold against it. With that being said, I would probably give tailor-made a solid C+, very solid C+, and because again, I like some components of it. There's just the antics and the whole AI and that leading to the cease and desist stuff, which I thought hey, kind of walked yourself into that, as far as what happened after that with the whole cease and desist orders coming. And the reason why it's not on there now, it just, for me, that could have been a good opportunity to really gain some major traction and to shift the narrative, but that just kind of, it kind of became slightly corny in that sense of it. So, great intent, bad execution. That's kind of where I'm at with tailor-made.
Okay. So do you feel like Tupac's family is hoes?
Not at all.
Sure.
Not quite.
I'm just saying,
quite,
I'm not saying he accused Drake of a cease and desist, right? So if their estate sent a cease and desist,
right? Which we know why they sent the cease and desist.
Because they broke.
It was an easy cash grab. that's why I feel that it was unnecessary. And it was kind of an unnecessary step to take that wound up slightly backfiring. Because I'm like, man, that's just going to create bad publicity and get another group of haters like, oh man, nah, he doing too much. You know what I mean? It was unnecessary. And that was just something I think that just wasn't that well thought out. Like, I think, especially in the age of like AI technology and a lot of that shit being able to be used for dastardly deeds, I think it was just a major misstep in a rap battle, essentially. I think he kind of walked himself into that one, you know, and it was just unnecessary. I don't disagree with you thinking that that they are also like, grabbing for money in that point of it, because that definitely is also some shady nonsense in that regard. But at the same time, like, that could have easily been avoided. You know, I'm gonna call them hoes, but it was definitely a perfect. It was a Christmas gift, honestly. If we're really gonna keep it a bean for them to capitalize and get some bread off of it. So,
all right, I got you, and then we go into Euphoria. Euphoria. Which I personally felt was his best song in diss track, of the diss tracks. Most complete. I felt it was his best. You know, still not fully what I expected from Kenny, what I feel like he can do lyrically. But he got his point across, in the angles that he was taking. Don't tell no lies about me, and I won't tell no truths about you. I feel like that was a mistake. I think that bar was a mistake because I think he wrote that, and that truth was that damn daughter that we go get to. So, and I think that's where a lot of people are misjudging this battle. When we really get into like Euphoria on, right? So, he's giving you an insight that I know some shit that y'all don't know. And, so he alludes to that, and then he goes into another thing that I didn't like about it was like his rhyme scheme in it was cool. His delivery of it was cool. But I didn't. If you in a beef, if me and you beefing, it's me and you. Don't try and backtrack to Pusha T, like, and then still try to use some of the same angles that Push did. Like, we get it, we got it. Like, no pun intended on that, but
I was just going to say, like, wait a minute,
like.
We're gonna let you cook. We can let you cook.
But like, I didn't like that. And then Pusha is Terrence as well. Why would you push a T? And he's Terrence Crawford and he whooping feet. Like, all right, bro, we get it. Like, but the rhyme scheme and delivery of that was all good. So like, I felt Euphoria was his best song with the diss track. Of the diss tracks that he released. So what was your feelings on Euphoria?
I know when I initially gave my response, and I probably picked the worst time like ever to try to like listen to that track. Man, I ain't gonna lie, I fell asleep on it initially when I first tried to give it a couple of listen throughs, but maybe that was because I've been putting in work at a job at that point in time. Maybe I just shouldn't have been listening to that, heading into midnight. But Euphoria in retrospect, Euphoria was a very solid diss track. Again, rhyme scheme, it got back to him being more like himself. Essentially, I definitely felt that this was something that he definitely like took his time on, cooked it up, did not rush it out, and it was a very good diss track. My lone gripe is the whole racial piece starting to get broken into the fold with that particular track, because he's criticizing Drake, I'm gonna
interrupt you. I'm gonna
Go
interrupt
ahead,
you, right?
ahead, bro.
Right.
You know where I'm
interrupt you.
but go ahead.
Is because I feel like it was a misuse of what he was trying to portray or represent. He went the race route. So I'm someone, I am pro-black everything. My wife is black, and I love black people. I love everything about us, right? So I would never try and discredit a man of being black, especially knowing that he comes from black parent, like at least one of them. Like we live in America where even if, you know, if one parent is black, you a nigga. So that's the America that we live in, unfortunately. So
like Jay said, still a nigga.
Right. So that's the America that we live in. And, you know, people are like, well, that's the thing, you know, he Canadian. Yeah, but his dad's American. He from Memphis.
Oh, God.
Like, he still grew up here in the summers. Like, he was here in the summers when his dad wasn't in prison. Like, that's something that's been well documented in his bars. And, you know, just because, you know, you say that he's not, he still grew up with the typical Black American dad story. And what I mean by that, my father, who's, you know, rest his soul, now deceased, he also was absentee. You know, his father was absentee at points in his life as well. So even though he was in Canada, he was still given that short end of stick of having a Black American father. Of what society tells you. Because I do know of some guys that are great Black fathers that I surround myself around now. But that's the narrative they try to paint and say that he's not Black enough to say, nigga, he is.
Right.
Have you seen Dennis?
He is, man.
Like, like, so I'm like, I hated that angle.
Right.
And then I hate then how they tried to flip it to being culture off of that. Because, like, what culture are you speaking of? Like, because East Coast culture is different from West Coast culture. You're talking hip hop culture. You're talking Black culture. Like, what exactly is he not a part of? What culture are you speaking on behalf of right now that he's not a part of? Like, draw that line. Because the way that you drew it, neither am I. I'm not a part of it. Because the only thing I pick up from it is a crab in the barrel mentality. So we're going to piggyback on that a little bit later. But that's what it comes from. Like, in my opinion, from my perspective. I don't have to tear down another Black man to build up my Blackness. And I hate that angle that he took.
It was terrible. Yeah, no, I'm with you, bro. Like, it was, and that's my biggest angst with that piece of it. Because again, like, if we start talking about, like, if we really want to, like, cut that down and keep it a bean, again, it doesn't matter whether you're light skinned, whether you know, are as light as, you know, a Drake or, you know, Steph Curry, whoever you want to, like, go as far as, like, that skin tone piece of it, whether somebody is biracial, bro, like, that was just, again, unnecessary. It was so unnecessary, and like, it was a reach to try to say that he is not eligible, like, of using the N-word. You got a better argument, like how people try to come for Fat Joe after all these years. You know what I mean? For, like, the use of the N-word. You got to, I mean, you might have a leg to stand on there. Trying to say that Drake is not worthy of that is nonsense, man. And I'm glad you brought up the point about him being from Canada and also still having American roots, you know, with him having a father that was, you know, from here in the States. Another legendary rapper who's no longer here with us. You know, some people just will try to say, nah, he just straight from New York or whatnot. Biggie Smalls, the Notorious B.I.G., Christopher Wallace. Also a product of, if we're going to keep it a bean, two different dynamics. He has a mother, you know, he has a mom that is from Jamaica or whatnot, and if I read it correctly, his father was from here in the States. And on a whole nother level of as far as, like, having another family and not being absentee and all that piece of it. But you don't hear people going back criticizing Biggie for being, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, biracial, technically speaking, biracial, essentially, because of his mom coming from, the islands, so, you know what I mean, or coming from Jamaica. Because again, even with him, his roots are as quiet as it's kept. He got to be that good at being a lyricist, not just from writing bars up here in New York, but in the summertime, he used to spend a lot of time back in Jamaica. So that's really what inspired and crafted his rhyme style into what we got on the wax. You know, the narrative will make you think like, oh, nah, man, he just built that up from serving time in prison and just sitting back writing bars the way that some cats be lifting in the pen. No. Not only was it that, he was heavily influenced from Jamaican culture, brothers. Don't get it twisted. So for Kendrick to kind of like say that he's not black enough, and I'm about like, yo, I'm pro-black as well too, and I'm not going to, you know, say nothing to tear down somebody, man, regardless of how light or how dark they may be or whatnot, because at the end of the day, we all share that, you know, we all share the unified, you know, struggle as a part of our DNA. You know what I mean? That's another subject for another day. So I felt it was unnecessary for him to go that route from the race standpoint. And again, I felt that was a reach, just like I felt that the whole Tupac thing was a reach on Taylor Made as well too. So with that being said, if I had to give Euphoria a letter grade, while it was more of a Kendrick sound, it was a very solid and a very solid entry into this rap battle. I'm going to give Euphoria a solid B+. The race piece of it just really taints it to in my opinion, and that's where I'm at with Euphoria in general.
Got you. And then, you know, from Euphoria, you know, after Euphoria, he in essence took the play out of Drake's playbook, and it released 616 in LA. And, you know, doing that before Drake released another song, you know, the back-to-back effect.
Of course.
So, you know, he released 616 in LA, which for me, this is where a lot start to unravel for me.
Train comes off the track.
a lot of contradictory, and I feel like from this point on he contradicts himself a lot. So in this song, he starts to allude to, this is the one when he went to I hate everything about you, right? Or was that Euphoria? Yeah, you know, 616. Yeah. You know, I hate everything about you. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk, the way that you dress. And I even hate the woman you fuck. And that ain't how I'm feeling. That's what the culture feeling. You feel me? Had to put the emphasis on the culture. That's what he said. That's what the culture feeling. Right? So for you to say that, why are you working with SZA? Right? You hate her, bro. You hate her. You just said it. And the culture hate her. That you claim that she a part of. They hate her. Right? Because you're speaking for the culture now. You know, even though your fans, your stands want to say, yo, he never said. No, he said it. I'm speaking for the culture. My culture. We hate the women that you fuck because they don't respect themselves. So SZA don't respect herself. Why the fuck you working with her? Right? Right. Serena, why you working with her? Why she performing with you? Right? You got two right there that he bust down. That you don't respect, but you willing to work with them to push the narrative, right? But they benefit you. They good enough for you. Oh, them two bitches, they good enough. Even though he piped them down. And I said I hate you. I said I hate you, bro. Like I not just me. We the culture. We hate you. You don't value yourself because you slept with a Canadian mixed breed, even though his fiance is mixed. Let that sink in too. So that he's been engaged to for 9 years and won't marry her. Got it. Right. So you see the contradictory in his bars, how they start to unravel. So when you say that, I no longer can respect a lot of the bars that you're saying, because now you're just talking to talk and to spew hatred and to spin a false narrative that he's not with the culture. Because if it's involving you and it benefits you, yeah, I know. Hey, I know that you fucked him, but hey, you down with me, so you good. Now you can't have it both ways. So you in the culture, you hate him. So hate him. Make sure that Top fire her from TDE, and make sure that you never talk to Serena again, even though she's also married to a white man. So why does she get a pass? You know, why does she get a pass?
Yeah.
Why does Whitney's parents get a pass? Because one of them was white in the situation. So why do they get a pass? So you see where like it's a lot of too much inconsistencies for me. So this is where it starts to unravel, and I'm gonna let you get your take on it because I know how you feel, and it's a little bit different than how I feel on it.
No doubt.
So,
because I ain't gonna lie, this is one that I'm going to give Kendrick a slight pass on. Because as one thing that you've seen with me as I've been giving my takes on these tracks, I'm very big into the theatrical piece of this or whatnot. So, while I'm not totally disagreeing with your take, if I'm looking at things from the theatrical standpoint, this was actually a well executed track outside of the verification piece of a lot of these narratives that he's pushing out there. I definitely love the tone of the track. I felt that this was very much like this is a song, in my opinion, at least that would age well long term, as far as being like having like listen through value and things along those lines. So for me, this was actually one of his better efforts in the rap battle. Even though, again, there was a lot of the extra like reach narratives and, the questionings of infidelity, which I'm like, all right, man, you really about to sit here and like totally paint yourself as a total saint in this scenario and just totally condemn like infidelity. And I don't know whether he's actually like, stepped out on his lady or not at any point in time in his life. Don't know. But,
yes.
So if he has, don't sit there and act like it doesn't happen, or it's this totally like it's a thing where it's like it's so inexplicably unforgivable and you should be canceled over it. Like, it happens, man. For whatever reasons, it does happen. Like, let's not sit here and treat it like with kid gloves. Like, that kind of thing does not happen. So again, don't sit here and act like you're totally above something like that. I think that is the one piece where I would criticize him on, for kind of stretching the narrative a little bit and starting to paint the false stuff out there. So for me, I again, if I'm looking at execution piece of it, I rock with the track. The track definitely, like I said, has all the vibes on there. I would probably give this one a minus if I had to give it a letter grade, because again, I'm looking at it from the theatrical standpoint. It had a good vibe, good tempo, good pace to it. But again, the narratives, whether some of that stuff's real or fake or not, that's where I would simply call some of that stuff into question in particular. But yeah, 616 in LA was a solid entry into this battle. Still trying to piece together the whole thing about DJ Academics being compromised and the alleged him having, moles and OVO's camp and all that. But I'm like, okay, fair enough. But I do like the fact that he did like saying that Drake wasn't going to be able to Tootsie slide his way out of this rap beef. that piece I did truly enjoy, like, came to it. I'm like, okay.
But he thought he could crip walk to a victory. Got it. Cool.
Right. No doubt. Like I said, man, there's a lot of pettiness coming out in this whole thing too. So, but for me, like I said, I knew we was going to have a difference in opinion on 616 in LA. But that's one that I actually rock with, and as depending on what day of the week it is, it might be my favorite from him in this rap battle. So,
gotcha.
So we're going to continue to push along here. So we've addressed those, and then obviously this now we get to one that I think we're going to see eye to eye on. Literally, Family Matters. Literally. Yep. So, I'm going to let you go ahead and take off here on Family Matters, because I know this is one of your favorites in the rap battle.
It ain't one of them. It's top two and it's not two.
Okay.
It's simple. It's the best It is the most complete, and it is the best track of the entire beef from both sides. People again try to circle back and be like, oh, he didn't. Why did he address everybody? He addressed him and him alone on the first beat. He did a beat switch, and he left that to everybody. And then he did another third beat switch. Did 3 switches because did 3 switches, and that was also him doing that was also a rebuttal to Kendrick, because saying that they're saying that he gonna have 3 beat switches, and that he taking chains and snatching tattoos. This will play back to like that, but so even that was all drawn into it, right? And then the third section, all Kendrick. He did everything he needed to do in this song. Punchlines. It's aged like wine. I don't get when people are like, oh, that didn't age well. Because look, Kendrick got Grammys. Nigga, that's what he said. He literally said, Kendrick just opened his mouth. Somebody go give him a Grammy right now. Right? And then, I'm going to circle back. Because there was a lot in this fucking song. A lot of this. I'm going to go back.
It was.
All right. So, people was like, oh, he should have learned his lesson with Virginia, with Pusha, because he mentioned Whitney. And he dug in. He dug in on it. With the infamous Dave Free. Yeah, like he dug in, and he did say that you could have left. What he started. You mentioned my scene. I deal with his dad. I gotta go bad. And then goes to the beat.
Yeah.
So Kendrick brought up, in essence, the kids. I can't remember like a direct shot at Adonis, but like he mentioned it. And he went into questioning the father, who was the father of one of their children, referencing that she been checking that ass for Dave Free. And
oh God.
Because
Dave Freeze.
Yeah, because if your GM is your BM secret BD, then this is all making plenty fucking sense to me. The one thing I will say, if for a lack of anything else, that first part, it was a little too punchy, like meaning like friendly. It was not a serious demeanor, and I guess that's not what's needed in a rap beef. I guess that'd be my only critique of it. It wasn't like serious enough, like it wasn't like straight bars. It was like him trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And that's honestly what I took from Push-Ups as well. Like him trying to be funny and just like witty. It was a bar or two in there that I didn't quite get. So it wasn't like it was just 100%. Like he didn't miss on any bar that he had in that, especially in that first part. But he did what he needed to do, and then the visuals is what makes the diss track better to me. With the van driving through Toronto and then going to the junkyard and being crushed. Petty. It's petty.
Super petty.
Kendrick fans like, that's not even the van. No shit, Sherlock's. It's not the exact same van from the fucking picture. Like, that van has also probably been crushed. Like, chill the fuck out, guys. Like, it's not the same exact damn van. We get it. But, so we go into that, right? And then he does the beat switch. I don't need to address anything there. Not for this episode, but he addresses everybody. Has some bars, speeds up the tempo. It's more of a drill style. Switches back. Now, I do think it was bars in the third section. That was missed.
It definitely was.
That was missed. And me being a fan of Kendrick and listening to Kendrick, it was one bar that I picked up on immediately that a lot of people just didn't get. It was the uncle line. So, him saying, hey, where's your uncle at? I want to talk to the man at the house. Well, that was him playing back to the song where he said, my auntie is a man now. So if your auntie's a man now, that means she's the uncle. So where's your uncle at? I want to talk to the man at the house because little nigga is not you. That's so I got that bar. Everything about that third section was fire to me, down to the visuals. Because even to the point of how he idolizes Pac, we get it, we got it. The blacker the berry is sweet the juice. We get that you like to put gin in your juice. We get that you think that you bitch up in juice.
Yeah,
like we get it, bro. Like, and that's also been my biggest issue with that is the praising of Pac, because in essence you're talking about culture vultures, and this is where I might get ridiculed, and I don't care, right? If Drake is a culture vulture, ladies and gentlemen, so is Tupac. And being an adult is understanding that Drake is more like Pac than Kendrick will ever fucking be. And what I mean by that, both born on East Coast. They are both former actors. They both use their skills to go to other regions and adapt to their music styles. Down to the point that Tupac played in Juice as Bishop and never stopped fucking playing them, because people got to remember Pac was what was he? Digital Underground. I do the hump, I do the hump. That was Pac. That was Pac. He was part of that. So he played Bishop and never got out of character. And somehow, the Lost people adopted Pac as the king of the West Coast culture, who is a New York nigga. He's from New York. He's East Coast. He didn't go to the West Coast, Oakland, until he was 18. So you are so engulfed in the culture that you don't even understand that a culture vulture intruded your culture, and you call him the king of your culture. So you don't even really have a true identity of what your culture is. Is it gang culture? Is it West Coast culture? Are those two separate things? What is it? Because you're also from Compton. He lived in Oakland. So it wasn't even Compton. So what exactly are we speaking about? Because Drake was also an actor, then turned rapper, just like Pac. Yeah. So he's more Pac than Kenny. So that's also an issue I have with a lot of people's take on it. That's what being an adult is, being able to look back objectively and seeing the differences between the two. And me being a fan of battle rap, right? Been listening to it for years. The key to a battle is actually rebutting when something is said. And you can't really do that with pre-recorded tracks. And that's what Kendrick did. So to me, just releasing a track is not a rebuttal, because Family Matters is what it was. I felt it was the best track, and I feel it has the best replayability to this day. And I feel it's aged very well, and it will continue to age very well. Before I jump into the next song, which is where I feel the battle was won, and we'll get into that. What are your thoughts on Family Matter?
As far as from Drake's aspect, it is probably my second favorite into this whole thing. A lot of good points that you made that I'm firmly in agreement with. Piece of it. This was a Drake track that really impressed me as far as his approach to a delivery. You could tell again this wasn't rushed like some of the first two were. This was like straight to the point as far as this rap beef goes. Definitely dug deep again, as you referenced, like, the drama surrounding the unique relationship between Kendrick and his fiance Whitney, and found it pretty clever that he actually spun that into that line, man, talking about, the previous relationship with Bobby Brown and trying to see what Whitney needs. But
Yeah.
that one just really kind of caught me off guard, man. Now, whether the whole, alleged abuse was like really a thing or not, different story for another day. But I just felt that again, like with the whole race card kind of being thrown in, it's like Drake had to go down to that level too with him, because as we all know that Kendrick has been identified, or at least like now he represents himself as like someone that is, like you said, down for the culture, down for being pro-black. With that being said, however, that it just really bugs me that he gets on Drake, not being able to use the N-word, saying he's not real and all this other stuff, yet his lady is also mixed. Like, you're the Black Messiah wiping up a mixed queen. How you gonna slam one guy for being the culture vulture, and that's where you're at with your lady? That's like the one thing that like people can tend to try to sweep under the rug in this whole thing, in this rap battle. Because I'm like, you cannot have it both ways, bro. You can't sit back and go like, I'm pro-black this, I'm pro-black that. You shouldn't say the N-word. And you know what I mean? Like that's the same thing that you're shitting on is a part of your foundation as well too. So I applaud Drake for clapping back and, opening and saying, going back using nigga right out the gate.
Yep.
Again, in this battle. I mean, I'm like, bro, call that out. Cause that, I ain't gonna lie to you, man, when that was starting to become the narrative that Kendrick was pushing, that really kind of pissed me off. I'm like, bro, why?
But
And
bro,
we're going to come back and, because that this world is loaded with fact checkers, brother. People do their homework. They know what they talking about. Like it was like he walked and opened that door up for that shit. So it's like, my guy, why get on him knowing that he's going to spin that right back at you? So you got that piece of the equation with Family Matters. That was really the most like thing that really kind of caught my ear, and really that stood out to me with as far as like the bars. I'm just like, hey man, he addressed the pink elephant in the room with this whole thing. Since now that we're talking about family and really pulling back the sheets, and to go back to what you were saying earlier, on 616, he definitely did. Kendrick definitely did address like the whole fact about Drake not being a father, kind of alluding back to the whole thing with as Pusha T kind of outed Drake with trying to conceal like the whole story surrounding his first his son or whatnot. That's the part that Kendrick like kind of took the shot at Drake and opened this whole like personal battle piece of it. Now the gloves are like basically coming off. So, but all in all, with Family Matters, I love the switching up and the different like components, the three phases of this track as well. I'm in agreement with you that this one is aging. Like I still listen to Family Matters to this day. I ain't gonna hold you, and I don't even really like think about the beef when I'm listening to that track, man. So I just felt it was such like a well put together one. My only gripe, and the reason why I can't give it a solid A+, it was too damn long. That's my only thing.
Well, in essence, it was 3 songs. It was just
right. It was three. You're right. It was 3 songs, but it's like it was just too long, man. And that's coming from a guy that, again, I'm a big Joe Budden fan, and I know people criticize the shit out of Joe when he was making his music for his shit being too long, man. That was like the only thing that got me, and I'm like, but again, I can still go back and listen to it with no problem. That's the only thing I could critique it on. I give Family Matters a solid A in this rap battle, because I felt, like I said, it was clear, concise, to the point. I love the fact that he checked that nonsense about culture vulturing. And while, you're portraying yourself as this conscious Black Messiah, but you know what I mean? Like, your lady's mixed. How's it okay for you to, like, be cool with that, essentially, but not in the rap battle when it's convenient for your agenda and your narrative?
Yeah, and just to circle back on something that you just, like, mentioned, in that, when people are trying to discredit or try to push the narrative of him not being cultured and making a statement like, you know, well, why would he say, you know, you rapping like you trying to get the slaves free? You calling us slaves? Can we finish that bar, please? Can we do that? Like you can paint a narrative when you stop it there. So I get what you're trying to do, but he literally says you rapping like you trying to get the slaves free. You're just acting like an activist. It's make believe. You don't even go back to your hood and plant no money trees. So that whole line is not him saying or calling us listeners slaves. It's the way that he's portraying himself, and it's all a false reality. What he is preaching and what he is saying in his songs is not who he is as a person. He's doing that to prey on you and to give you this narrative that he's for the people, but he's not. He's all for himself. That's what that bar means. And there's no true evidence to refute that. So, you know, he started PG Lang now, but who all is signed with PG Lang? I think it's just him and King. I think it's just him and Baby King. And even King may even be a part of TDE still. And then, if you are truly being robbed by TDE, why do you still have a partnership with him?
That's a great question.
Like, that doesn't even make sense. So, were you truly being robbed? Like, what is it? So, it's like a lot of inconsistencies that I just, for the life of me, I don't and will not understand from Kendrick's side. But yeah, I had to point that out because people need to finish that line. You know, it's like only God can judge me, and people want to stop that there. Finish that scripture. Finish it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you can paint the narrative when you stop it at a certain point to portray what you're trying to portray. Like, say the whole line because he's telling you, hey, he's rapping like this. He's telling you he's for y'all. But what does he do for y'all? What does he go back to his hood himself and do? Like, Drake has OVO record label that he only has Canadian artists signed to. Like, he just released an album with his fellow Canadian and party. So, like, what is Kendrick doing? Nothing like that. So, unless your name is King, because that's his cousin. But in essence, that means you're coming from the same tree because you're part of the same family tree. So, therefore, what trees are you planting? That's already your tree. But, yeah, I digress. I'll let you continue.
No, you're good, man. A lot of good insight. Like I said, that Family Matters joint was like definitely a deep piece of the equation with this rap battle. So now, obviously, that takes us to the double up trick here that comes right after that. Even though technically speaking, this is a pre-recorded track.
It ain't
in regards to
it's 100% pre-recorded. You can't record a song, master it in 11 minutes.
Facts. For sure. So right after Family Matters, here comes Meet the Grams. And yeah. While the theatrics of this song was very solid as far as the beat and the pace, I ain't gonna lie, man. I could not stand the way that Kendrick was rapping on this, man. Like, I can't. I can't. Like, it. I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, you better have a Red Bull in the system and some caffeine in the system if you're going like, you know what I'm saying, like give this like a clean listen through for the first time or whatnot. Because again, this was something that could easily put you to sleep right out the gate. When you're trying to like listen to this, man. So for me with Meet the Grams, say what you will about, the accusations and the whole, like, now we're bringing in, Mom, we're bringing in Sandra, we're bringing in
Dennis Adonis.
Dennis Adonis. My biggest beef with this one is, hey, if you're going to go there and you're going to mention the daughter, which sounds like there is no daughter.
There is no daughter. There is no daughter.
There's no daughter. So if we're going to mention it, you better have some proof before deploying that. And clearly, there is no daughter. Like,
is it bad
Go ahead.
enough that the moment I heard this, I knew he was lying?
Mm-hmm.
Like the first playthrough, I knew he was lying. So, and this is where he lost. This track, Meet the Grams, is an F, and it's a complete. It lost. So I grew up playing chess, right? So when I get to a point and I'm dictating your moves, that's called checkmate. I run the board, and that's what this song did. So with me as a listener, where he messed up at is because he took the angle of pinning this, like each verse as a letter to the Graham family. So when you go, Dear Sandra, Dear Dennis, Dear Adonis, when you went, hey baby girl, I knew you didn't know a name, and you didn't know what the fuck you was talking about. You address everybody else by name, but not her. But you got the information, right? You didn't have it.
I'm
was
an
giving
alleged
false
mole
information
that he's right.
that you
From an
bragged
alleged
about.
mole that was in the OVO camp, right?
That you bragged about, because you ever thought that OVO was working for me? Yeah, he knew that. And he set you up. And you took the bait. And then you used it on a damn track. That's called checkmate.
Yep.
So, Meet the Grams, a complete F, a failure. And that's the reason, that's the real reason he dropped Not Like Us 12 hours later.
It's a very good point.
Because this missed. It missed. And it missed bad.
Yeah.
Like, nothing about this song was good. Down to, like, the eeriness of it. Down to you trying to have it, like, another gripe that I have. What was Mr. Morale and then the Big Stepper? That was basically his therapy and how he was going through therapy to fix himself. So you being pro therapy and fixing yourself as an individual, when you go that route and that's what something that you're pro of, you're not going to sit there and say that another man needs to fix himself, but then say, Sandra, your son need to die. Right? You're going to be pro rehabilitation. So you're not. Another false narrative that you're pushing, Kendrick. Because if you truly were of that makeup and that's the angle that you like in life and you're pro rehabilitation and bettering yourself and becoming a better human, a better person through rehabilitation and meditation and seeking therapy, you wouldn't say you need to die. That wouldn't be your angle. So it's another false bullshit pretense that you're trying to push to the masses that the masses won't open their fucking eyes to see. So people can continue to be sheep and overlook that. But that's not the way that someone that is pro therapy would address somebody that needs help, that you're saying that he needs. It truly sounds that you haven't even healed yourself and you're still pushing that out. So you haven't even really got to where you need to be in life. So that's what this track reflected to me. And it was a complete miss. And it further just proves that you're talking the talk and that you're playing the people. And I'm not the one to be played with, and I can read through his BS. This track was a complete miss. Complete miss. And there's no way that I don't see any way you can be like, oh, he killed that shit. That track hard. There's nothing about it is hard. Because even down to, you just said that Drake is not black enough to say nigga. Drake's baby mom is French, but you called his son a black man. He's even less black, African American black than Drake. But you refer to him with blonde hair and blue eyes as a black man. You say you can say that and then to try to push your narrative. Like, is he black or not? Because if he's a black man, that means he's a black man because his damn dad. So is Drake black or not?
That's a great question. Next question.
So is he black or not? It's like easy just to point out that contradiction within itself.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Like,
I hear you.
Like an elementary kid can hear that and be like, hey, but didn't you say he ain't black? So if he ain't black and his daddy not black and his mom ain't black, how is he black? Like my 4-year-old godson would ask me that question.
Mm-hmm.
So Kendrick's an idiot. No, I take that back. He's not an idiot. He's not an idiot. He's actually not. He's actually not. He plays the people like they're idiots. He's actually not an idiot. He plays the people like a fiddle. And he knows that they don't truly consume the music and they just will go with what they hear and won't fact check things.
That's most people that listen to music in general, how they operate, man.
He plays on that.
They run away with stuff.
And he plays on that. Down to the point that he even said, I like the Drake. I like Drake with melodies. And that's what his people were going around saying. And then this album came out and they said they don't like Drake with melodies. They like what he wants. What side is it?
But you're the biggest Drake hater, according to 616 in LA. Like, it. And then on this track, he also said, hey, I ain't got a hating bone in my body. Oh, Lord. Which is it? Which is it? Man, you said you all over the place? Bro. Like, come on, man. Hopscotch, man. It's a real thing, bro. Playing hopscotch.
But people will be like, nah, see, that's not what he meant. See, you shallow overthinker, so it went over your head. No, my brother. No. A shallow thinker is something that I'm not. Mm-hmm. But the fact that he can tell you that he hates everything about him, and then on another track and say, I don't have a hating bone in my body. Which one is it? You can't be both. So, all the contradictions just have to stop. Meet the Grams. And it lost the battle. And it's a reason that the majority of all battle rappers say Drake won this. Because not in any of these songs did Kendrick ever rebut to anything. Everything was pre-recorded. You can't rebuttal a track that was newly written. Mm-hmm. When you already pre-recorded the tracks. And that's what we got. You can't win with pre-recorded. Just because you know the old saying, the loudest nigga in the room is usually the brokest. Or just because you get loud don't mean you win an argument. Just because you drop more don't mean you won the battle. Like, you should have held on you should have left Meet the Grams in the back pocket. You should have left that in the C drive. It should have stayed there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'll let you finish your thoughts on Meet the Grams. I interrupted you. My bad.
Brother. Oh, no, you good. No, you good, man. I'm gonna let you cook, brother.
But Meet the Grams was a piece of shit. It was a piece of shit, and it should have stayed where the fuck it was at in that C drive.
It was a major misfire, and I love, like, when I was discussing this at the time with people, man, when I was like kind of able to string that together, and I'm like, hold on, man, like, he's allegedly got people working in the camp, allegedly, and you hint at that. Then they throw this narrative out there about the daughter, and you can't name her because it's false information. Like, I think you can kind of put two and two together and really break that down. So while I'm not going to totally crush the track with an F, it's not necessarily a beautiful passing grade that would keep you eligible for sports here. I'm gonna give it a D plus in the sense that there was a no. D is in Delta. D plus.
Oh, D is in dog shit. Got it.
Yeah. Hey, where you want to roll it? Double D, that was dog shit. But I'm gonna give it that because, again, I can appreciate some of the ingenuity behind it, but again, I'm big on execution. I'm really big on execution. While this could, like, honestly, if you cut that piece out of it, it actually might be a decent track. But because this is a verified lie, clearly, and a major swing and a miss, and I'm glad you brought up the fact that Not Like Us came out shortly after that. That kind of even proves that point even further and connects the dots there. So I'm not going to totally fail it because he did put some time into recording it, but major swing and a miss, man. That's
Hey, bro.
That's a ball forward, take your walk.
So basically you saying that it can never be an F because he just dedicated his time to record the track. That's crazy, bro.
I know.
That's crazy.
Like, I mean, I know.
The fact that it came from Kendrick, who we have praised even in this episode about his penmanship. The fact that you was so petty with fucking hatred that you didn't even fact check things. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
but it also track.
Yep, but you also brought up a good point, man, about him kind of talking about, going through the healing journey on Mr. Morale, and it shows that there's still some way to go with that. We've highlighted a lot of inconsistencies and hypocritical backfires in this piece of it, so we're definitely painting a trend here with this. So,
yeah, and also real quick, just because I know people gonna be in the comments when this airs.
I'm also
gonna say this. So let me get this off. Yeah, it hasn't been confirmed that Kendrick beats Whitney, but he never refuted it. He never rebutted it. But he's also has stated in the track that he has hit a woman before. So you can say that it's more likely than not that it could have happened. So if you wanted to go that route, he never refuted that. You'd be like, well, one of his kids ain't Dave Freeze. They never refuted it. We don't know. You thought that Whitney Crip walking in the Not Like Us video was confirmation that that ain't Dave Freeze kid? Nah. This is gonna be women that you talk to on a daily that has been hit and abused and gone back to their lover. Don't be so foolish, my friends.
Or
because it happens on the daily.
Man.
Because it happens on the daily. So what makes you think they can't be in this exact same situation to where now she has money and he's providing a lifestyle that she never had before? It's very possible. Yeah. So I'm not saying that it is true, but it also hasn't been refuted by either one. But continue.
No doubt. Good insight with this, man. Loving where we're going with it. But so obviously, getting back to the transitional piece of it, because they're like literally less than how short was that time frame with the transition between the tracks again?
I think it was 11 hours between
we'll say
the Grams and Not Like Us. I think it's 12 hours.
So basically, within the same weekend, inside of 24 hours, we got 2 diss tracks.
So technically speaking, 616 in LA, Family Matters, and Meet the Grams all released on May 3rd. And then Not Like Us was shortly after midnight. Well, early morning on the 4th.
May 4th? Got it. Okay, gotcha.
And then, just because we're going to talk about it, we got The Heart Part 6 from Drake on the 5th. So.
I got you. But now we're at the what some would view as the crown jewel.
That is what I would like to call a cooking masterpiece. But them boys was cooking. I don't know about you, bro, but them two I just heard, they was definitely cooking.
Oh, for sure. Hibachi grill, a little stir fry, or hot as fish grease, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, definitely cooking look like grandma's fish grease for sure. Hopefully, it just don't stink like how grandma's fish grease be stinking.
Oh, nah, we take care of our oil around here, boy. We take care of that.
Put a little bit of oil in it. Put a little bit of water. I got you. No, hey, man, them Southern remedies be a trip, though, bro. I swear we be coming up with the most clever stuff, man. Like, get around spending unnecessary money.
Yes, sir.
Remind me of your boy Julius from Everybody Hates Chris. But nonetheless, we're gonna get too far off subject though. I hope y'all enjoyed the track battle, man. And then obviously we got the grand finale and the third part of the trilogy of Champagne versus Avalanche coming to you on the next special edition episode of the Chris Logic podcast. Again, I hope y'all are enjoying this journey that we're on, but we will see y'all on the next episode.
Yes, sir. We out.